Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 400th Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I've put onto YouTube. Just to say, I think when we first started this Brotherhood YouTube battle channel, we probably never thought we'd ever get to 400, but here we are at number 400 here. From the 400th game on, I'm going to change the format a little bit, and unless there's an unusual faction for the 31k battlefield or a really interesting army build, we're just going to introduce the teams a bit quicker so we can get on to the battle a little bit quicker, because I know a lot of you just, when you come on, you just really like to see the battle there. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to try and get through the introductions a bit quicker. As you can see, this is fought on the grassy flatlands map and not the Germanic forest map that I usually like. And our first teammate is Brotherhood member Legion 22, who has unusually bought the Egyptian faction. So I think it's a brave man that brings Egypt on a winter map. He hasn't even got the desert bonus to give to these Egyptian troops. So it'll be interesting to see how well they do. I see, to start off with, he's got 4 Desert Axemen, okay? I see he's got 8 upgrades on those Desert Axemen, so that's 2 Experience Stripes, Gold Shield, Gold Attack. And there's a close-up of them for those of you who might not have seen them, okay? Now, I've got a faint memory of when Rome Total War first came out, that these guys might have had, originally, effective against armor axes. But I'm not 100% sure of that, but I've got a feeling in the back of my mind they might have done. Okay, so he's got his 4 Desert Axemen. Now, I think the backbone of his army here are 10 Pharaoh archers. Okay, now, as I say, this is an unusual faction to the 31k battlefield. That's why we're having a closer look at it, okay? And if you notice here, can you see that those Pharaoh archers are fully upgraded? 9 upgrades. So that's 3 Experience Stripes, Gold Shield, Gold Attack. Now, pound for pound, these archers are possibly the best in the game. Now, just to give you an idea, those of you that like statistics, fully upgraded Pharaoh archers have got a 15 attack, missiles of 16, and a massive defense of 18. Okay, now just to give you an idea, that Roman auxiliary archers with a stripe, Gold Shield, Gold Attack have only got 7 attack, a missile of 12, and only a defense of 10. So that gives you an idea how elite these Pharaoh bowmen are, especially when they're fully upgraded. They're so tough you can use them as good light infantry as well when they run out of arrows. So he's got 10 units of Pharaoh archers, and I see he's got 6 chariots, okay? And these are the heavy chariots. And if you notice there, they've got 3 occupants in the chariots there, the driver and 2 swordsmen. Now these guys got good attacking specifications, but they also don't run amok. Okay, so you've seen run amok chariots in other battle videos, how they kill both friend and foe alike. These chariots do not run amok. Okay, and there's a close-up of an Egyptian general in a chariot. You don't see that very often there. So as you can see, that's the Egyptian general, along with his driver and another swordsman there. So that's an unusual faction to be brought to 31k battlefield. That's why we've had a close look at it, okay? 10 Pharaoh archers, 6 chariots, and 4 Desert Axemen. Okay, our next teammate is Brotherhood member 8 Ball, and he has got 16 pikes, 2 archers, and 2 cavalry. Okay, 16 pikes, 2 archers, and 2 cavalry there. Okay, we move on down. As I say, we're going for a quicker introduction from the 400th game on. Our next teammate is Brotherhood member Mad King. Now, he has got 20 Sacred Band Spearmen. No slingers, no cavalry, just 20 Sacred Band Spearmen. So it'll be interesting to see how well the army does during the course of the battle. And our last teammate is myself, Spartan Commander, who has bought the Rome Scipio faction. This is this very old army of mine, the one I usually bring, 12 infantry and 6 cavalry. Okay, so there's our team, but you wait till you see the other team. And here is the other team. We have Brotherhood member Mars, who has bought the Rome Julio faction. As you can see there, can you see he's in the darker area of the map, which shows that is long grass. So the vast majority of his army are in the long grass. So that's why you can't see them, because they're hiding. Next teammate is Brotherhood member Bark, who has bought the Seleucid faction. Now he's got 13 pikes, 2 archers. Okay, 15 pikes, 2 archers. He's got 3 cataphract cavalry, the tanks of the ancient world. He's got 3 cataphract cavalry, and I think he's got 2 companion cavalry over there. Yeah, so he's got 2 companion cavalry, 3 cataphracts, as you can see, 13 pikes and 2 archers. Okay, our next teammate is Brotherhood member Steve Longshanks, who has bought the Greek Cities faction. Now, in the last month or so, Steve's been really persevering with the Greek Cities faction and has become really good with them. And in a lot of battles, his use of the Greek cities has been pivotal in the victory of his team. If you see, he's got 12 spearmen there, and I think he's got 6 he got 6 archers there, Cretan archers. Okay, their last teammate is Brotherhood member Lando. A lot of you know him as Brotherhood member Turbo, and as you can see, he's bought the Rome SPQR faction. Now, if you notice there, he's got 5 archers. Okay, got 5 archers there, but only 9 infantry. Okay, now 9 infantry is a low amount of infantry for the modern day battlefield, and he's got 6 cavalry. Okay, so he's bought those 5 archers, I think, to try and neutralise Egypt's archers. Okay, so there's the other team. This should be a great battle for you to watch. Hope you enjoy it. Okay, at this stage of the battle, I thought I'd show you how our team is formed up. Can you see how the 3 of us are at the front there, and our Egyptian ally is at the rear? He's going to use our armies as shields from the enemy team, while he can use his long-range archers over our troops onto the enemy troops. He's got his desert axemen and his chariots right at the back there. So there's our setup at the very, very early stage of the battle. And as I say, this should be an interesting one for you to watch for our 400th. Okay, at this very, very early stage of the battle here, you can see we've moved into the archer war part of the battle here. And you can see we've got our Cretan archers and our Pharaoh bowmen here shooting at the enemy. I think it's SPQR and Julii archers there. As you can see here, remember these Pharaoh archers are fully upgraded, and pound for pound are probably the best archers in the game anyway, but fully upgraded. That really makes them super elite archers, and that's why the enemy are suffering so many casualties here. Let's say we've got our Macedon ally here as well. Notice that our archers on both sides are in open order. Of course, if you've got your troops in open order and not in dense formation, then they're going to suffer less casualties from missiles. But as you can see there, the Julii archers are being absolutely decimated here by our archers on this particular flank. Okay, those Pharaoh archers, as I say, the damage that they're doing there, as I say, with fully upgraded archers is amazing. Right, can you see the enemy SPQR cavalry coming across here? Now, obviously, they're going to look to try and hit these archers if they can. I'm thinking that the Egyptian general, Legion 22, has got his chariots ready to counter any cavalry charge there. Okay, but I think the enemy can see their archers are being absolutely pummeled by these Pharaoh archers. So if they can take those Pharaoh archers out, that's what they'd want to do. Right, here comes the SPQR cavalry, and bang, as they smash into that first line of Macedon archers there. Can you see the Egyptian chariots coming back in there? Remember that the desert bonus is for Egyptian troops. Okay, there's no desert bonus here, so these Egyptian troops have got no bonus at all, and they're fighting on a winter map. So as you can see, those chariots charging in to the SPQR cavalry. Okay, plus those chariots now will be targeted by the enemy archers, I would think as well. I suppose again for a second. So as you can see here, the enemy SPQR cavalry here are engaging the our allies' Egyptian chariots. Okay, I'm thinking here, if this was on the desert, obviously with those chariots then would be getting a desert bonus, but as they're not getting the bonus here, going up against good SPQR cavalry, could be a 50-50 tussle there. Meanwhile over here, I'd just like to draw your attention to the amount of fire arrows that Steve is using onto our Carthage ally here. Now our Carthage ally here would either like to face Greek cities or Seleucid. I don't think he matters which one, but obviously you don't want to fight them both, but he would target either of those. Right, see the grouping of fire arrows here. Okay, now those are intense grouping of fire arrows, and when they hit their targets, obviously they're going to cause not only just casualties, but big panic, and therefore lowering the morale of those troops that those arrows are hitting. Okay. But meanwhile, over there on our right flank, you can see the chariot and cavalry battle going on here. Okay, just to draw your attention here, can you see all of a sudden Mars' infantry have broken formation and are just charging into the nearest enemy units there? Okay, now, unfortunately, at this stage of the battle, Mars had to leave the game. There was an emergency or something at home, and he had to leave the game. So his army now has reverted to artificial intelligence command. Okay, so the artificial intelligence control now is taken over, and as you know, artificial intelligence on Rome Total War is not very good. Usually those artificial intelligence-led armies just attack the nearest enemy units. Okay, so tactics and strategy now are in the artificial AI's hands. Okay, so to say, Mars has now left the game, and all his Julii infantry are now under artificial intelligence, and that's usually the kiss of death. We thought about maybe shutting the game down and starting a new game in the lobby here, because obviously when the army reverts to artificial intelligence, this could be a clear or even crushing victory for us, because the artificial intelligence is not very good. But we decided to carry on playing anyway. But as I say, when it's gone to artificial intelligence there, it's so poor that, as I say, this could be a crusher or a clear victory for us. Okay, so we just have to see what happens there. Okay, can you see here, I've brought my Scipii cavalry over here to aid my Egyptian ally, and I'm smashing into that SBQR carrier. Bang! As my Scipii cavalry smashes into that SBQR carrier. But can you see the SBQR infantry coming over there to help its own cavalry? Now, I don't want to hang around there fighting infantry with my cavalry there, but I'd like to finish off that SBQR cavalry if I could before that infantry starts intervening. Okay, so you can see there, I think I've taken out, with my Egyptian allies' chariots there, we've taken out all of the SBQR cavalry, I think, at this time. As I say, with that SBQR infantry coming over, I want to get out of there before they start intervening. Okay, I don't want to have any truck with fighting infantry with my cavalry. As you can see, I think all our Egyptian allies' chariots have now been routed. Okay. So all those chariots that our allies bought has now been routed, and I need to get out of there with my cavalry. As I say, I don't want to start fighting infantry with my cavalry. Okay, so there's a lot of SBQR cavalry coming over, infantry coming over there. But can you see now our right flank is open? Okay, that SBQR infantry could start rolling us up from right to left. Can you see here, 8 Balls pikemen are pinned by the AI's Julii army there. Okay. And so he can't really get units out there to maybe support our right flank. But if you notice here, all we've got is Egyptian bowmen left and maybe some desert axemen. Okay, that's all we've got on our right flank. So our right flank now is open to being smashed, and they could roll us up from right to left here. Okay, over on our left flank here, you can see Mad King is looking to engage the enemy Greek cities units there. And you can see here that the Seleucid general there is probably looking to charge into the flank of Mad King's Sacred Band infantry there. Okay, so Mad King here is facing Greek cities in front of him and possibly Seleucid units coming in on his flank. So I've got to move my Scipio army forward there to support my Carthage allies flank there. Okay, but the main concern for us is our right flank looks like it's been broken. Okay, all we've got over there is Pharaoh Bowman. And I can see that Legion 22 is bringing over his Desert Axemen. Okay, but those Desert Axemen are not really a match for urban cohorts. And so, as you can see here, veterans looking at this, can you see we're looking to be rolled up from right to left here? Okay, so that's a really serious situation there on our right flank. There was a lot of lag in this game to start off with. It does speed up a bit later on. I hope the lag doesn't spoil the game too much for you. Okay, can you see Mad King here bringing his spear units around the flank of Steve's Greek cities? Nice tactical move there. Okay, and newer players to Rome Total War, why try and smash in a barricaded front door when you can go around the side or the rear, and you might find the side or rear door open, if you see what I mean. Okay, let's just pause the game for a second, take stock exactly what's happening here. So as you can see, I've moved my Scipio troops forward to cover the flank and rear of my Carthage Sacred Band ally. I'm being attacked by Julii infantry, and also we've got that Seleucid infantry ready to engage as well. But also here, can you see here, as I say, Mad King doing a great tactic there, going around the flank of the enemy Greek cities units there to attack the flank there. Nice move there. Here you can see 8 Balls Macedon troops there are facing the AI attack from the Julii enemy attack there. And as I say, Lando's got his SBQR infantry round our flank. As you can see, Legion's brought his Desert Axemen over. I've got my cavalry there, and we've got the Pharaoh archers are shooting into those SBQR infantry. But as you can see, our right flank is in a very precarious situation here, and they could look to start rolling us up from right to left. Okay, so it's very serious on our right flank. On our left flank here, we are facing a lot of enemy troops. Right, can you see this mass of fire arrows here? Steve, I think, has got his archers in close formation here, so you can see the mass of intense arrows going into the enemy team there. Okay, but there's something I wanted to show you here, especially for newer players to Rome Total War who may not have seen this before. Okay, I'm just going to pause the game for a second because I want to show you this. Right, can you see here? Can you see Steve's own infantry is panicked by fire arrows? Okay, now he's shooting arrows over the head of his own troops, but some of those arrows are going to drop onto his own troops. And if your own arrows drop onto your own troops there, can you see that fire arrow there? has landed on his own troops, so now he's panicking his own troops with his own arrows, which of course lowers the morale of his own troops. So when you try and use archers and you use fire arrows, try not to fire over the head of your own troops, because some of those arrows will drop short, and if you're using fire arrows, they will lower the morale of your own troops. Okay, so always be aware of that. Steve's, as I say, you can see Steve's own troops have been panicked by his own fire arrows. Okay, so as I say, that lowers the morale of his own troops by his own fire arrows. So try and move round to the side or something where you're not actually shooting over the heads of your own troops. Okay, meanwhile over on our right flank here, you can see the enemy SPQR infantry moving forward. You can see that Legion's brought his Desert Axemen forward to try and neutralise that attack, but Desert Axemen are really no match for urban cohorts. So as I say, you can see 8 Ball's seen that, and he's moving some of his pikemen over. As I say, these Desert Axemen, even if they were fighting on the desert and getting the desert bonus, they still, I don't think, would be any good against urban cohorts. Okay, so I'm not sure how long those Desert Axemen are going to hold. As I say, you can see 8 Ball has spotted the danger there and brought some of his pikemen over to try and help on that right flank. Okay, meanwhile over on our left flank here, you can see the Seleucid general smashed into the rear of Mad King's Carthage Sacred Band with his Cataphract Cavalry. If you notice there, I'm bringing my Scipii Cavalry over to try and cover the rear of Mad King's spearmen there. To try and neutralise those Cataphract Cavalry. But that was a nice hit there by the Seleucid general into the back of there's a close-up of the fight in there. I've got a couple of my Scipii infantry units that I've sent over to try and take out that Greek city's general. Okay, that Greek city's general is at the front of the fight in there, and if I can take him out, I would like to. So I've sent 2 of my Scipii units over there to try and take out that general. All the time there, those archers are shooting arrows into us all the time. In that close formation there for intense arrow hits there. Makes the amount of arrows very intense as they come down on our troops. Okay, you can see here my battle damaged Scipii cavalry are taking on those Cataphract cavalry there. My guess is we'll both be alt attacking, which means I'm using my heavy sword, not my light lance. And if you notice here, the Seleucid general's using his effective against armor maces. Okay, so we've both alt attacked at this stage of the battle. But my cavalry, even though it's battle damage, does outnumber those 2 Cataphract cavalry units there, and I wouldn't surprise me, there we go, if we could rout them. Okay, so I'm just going to pause the game now and I'm going to ask you a tactical attack question. What would you do with my cavalry? Okay, it's very battle damaged, but it could still be useful. So I'm going to show you a general disposition of the battlefield here and then ask you what you would do with my cavalry if you were in charge of the cavalry. Okay, now would you send a cavalry over there to take out those archers? Is that something that you would do? Maybe do that, because you can see here that the Greek cities there are attacking our Carthage ally there. But you can see Mad King's really aggressively attacking the Greek cities there. Over here you can see we've got AI Julii attacking, and you've got Seleucid like army is broken into 2 there. It's got 1 lump of pikemen attacking my Scipii troops in that particular part of the battlefield, along with Julii troops. And over on our right flank here, you can see the 8 Ball, I think, is trying to run back over to us here to try and cover our flank. You've got enemy Julii troops, SPQR archers all attacking him, and you've got that SPQR infantry attacking as well. Okay, we've got a lot of units running at this time. I think all of the Desert Axemen have now been routed, so as I say, our right flank's looking bad at this time. Okay, so there's a general disposition of the battle there. What do you think you would do with my cavalry? Okay, I've only got 4 units left out of 6, and they're all very battle damaged. Maybe go over there and maybe help attack those SPQR infantry. Is that something you would do? Or maybe take the cavalry in between a gap over there and get in behind the Julii AI army there, smash into the rear. But what do you think you would do with the Scipii cavalry of mine? Okay, let's see what happens there. Okay, so I've just routed the last of those Cataphract cavalry. As I say, very battle damage here. You can see 8 Ball bringing his Macedon army over here to help us out. Okay, so what am I going to do with my cavalry? Am I going to go for those archers that's been shooting at us all the time? Is that what you would do? Go for those Steve's Cretan archers? Go for them, yeah? Or can you see another target? Right, can you see the rear of Steve's Greek city units? I'm going to smash into the rear of those engaged units and bang! As that cavalry smashes into the rear of those engaged Greek city units there. Okay, I saw the rear of those troops, couldn't resist it, smashed straight into the rear, and they're hoping to rout a lot of those units. Okay, I know I've got very battle damaged cavalry, maybe haven't got the weight there to do the damage I wanted to, but now I'm going to switch from the Greek city spearmen to the Greek city archers, okay? Okay, we just killed, I think, was it the Carthage general? No, the Carthage general just been killed, the Seleucid general there. But as you can see here, my cavalry now, I'm going to use, have come from the Greek city spearmen to charge into these archers that have been firing fire arrows into us all the way through the battle here. Meanwhile, here you can see Mad King still pushing in, but can you see the enemy Seleucid pikemen are behind Mad King? And he's fighting the Greek cities frontwards on. So Mad King's units here are being sandwiched, okay, between spearmen and pikemen here. So how long Mad King is going to be able to hold there against those type of odds, I'm not sure. You can see 8-Ball here bringing his Macedon troops over closer to us. As you can see, here's a big clump of Seleucid pikemen and enemy Julio troops here attacking my Scipio troops here as well. Okay, you can still see a lot of AI Julio troops all over the battlefield moving and attacking as they want. But as you can see, Lando's SBQR troops are coming around the rear of us now with a view to charge into the rear of our engaged troops. Okay, if he comes over and joins up with his Greek cities ally, then I think that could be real problems for us. But as I say here, I'm going to try and stop that torrent of fire arrows coming on us by hitting those Cretan archers and bang as my cavalry smashes in there. Okay, I've also brought an infantry unit over as well, because I think it's important to try and take these archers out, because as I say, all through the battle they've been shooting intense volleys of fire arrows into us, not only causing casualties but lowering the morale of our troops as well. So I think it's important we try and take these archers out. Okay, and there you go, the Seleucid general has been routed, but he may well rally and come back to the battle as it continues here. Okay, as you can see, Lando's SBQR infantry has managed to get round behind us now. Let's just pause the game for a second. So he's now going to link up with his Greek cities ally, and this could be bad news for us. 8-Ball's doing a really great job here with his Macedon pikemen there, trying to form a bit of a defensive lineup, trying to hold the tide back a little bit here. Over here you can see, as I say, this big clump of Seleucid pikemen aided by its Julio ally attacking my Scipio troops. And there's all the time there you can see the AI Julio troops attacking 8-Ball's pikemen there, as well as some SBQR troops as well. Don't forget, Legion 22's Pharaoh archers have been shooting into the enemy all the time. He'll be targeting the rear of those SBQR troops, possibly the general. Okay, so as I say, when we saw Mars's army go to AI, we thought this was going to be a clear or maybe even a crushing defeat victory for us. Okay, but now you can see things are really starting to turn around a bit here. The enemy team have done absolutely amazing here of how they've kind of turned things around from having an AI ally. Okay, as I say, you can see the enemy SBQR troops teaming up with their Greek cities allies here, attacking our Carthage ally and my Scipio troops. Okay, so as I say, things are really hanging in the balance here, and I'm not sure if we're going to be able to hold on. As I say, 8-Ball with his Macedon pikemen there has done an incredibly good job there of forming up a defensive line, trying to hold the enemy up as long as he can. I see some Seleucid cavalry have charged into the back of my fighting Scipio infantry, routing a couple of my units there. But over here I can see a lot of pressure being put on our troops there. So you can see a lot of my Scipio units have been routed. I think I might only have maybe 3 or 4 units left now, with the enemy Julio troops pressing in and that big clump of Seleucid pikemen there gradually taking our my troops out there on that particular part of the battlefield. As I say, meanwhile, you can see Julio artificial intelligence infantry attacking 8-Ball's pikemen there. I've still got some of my, I think I've got 3 units here still trying to engage the Seleucid and Greek city units here. But as I say, you can see Lando's got his SBQR infantry in behind there. He's linked up with his Greek city allies, which is what he wanted to do. Things looking pretty bad there. I've still got some very battle damaged cavalry out there. But whether they've got the weight or numbers to do any good for the course of the battle, we'll just have to wait and see. I'd like to smash into the rear of the SBQR troops, maybe even try and take that general out, but I don't know whether I've got the weight of numbers to do that. And don't forget, Legion 22's archers, those fully upgraded Pharaoh archers, are shooting into the enemy all the time, weakening units, making them more susceptible to routing, hopefully. Okay, so you can see my cavalry chart, you can see where I'm going for. I'm going for the SBQR general. Okay, and here we go. Bang! As my battle damaged cavalry smashes into that SBQR general there, hopefully trying to take him out. I've reduced the number of that general unit quite a lot by that hit. If you notice, also I'm pressing in my Scipio cavalry as well. I've done like a sandwich attack there with my infantry coming in from the front and my cavalry going in from the back there, trying to take that SBQR general out. but I just didn't have the weight and the numbers to be able to do the damage I wanted to. Some Seleucid cavalry have just charged into the rear of my engaged Scipio troops. I see one of my units has just been routed there. The Greek city general now is pushing forward with his Spartan units into my Scipio units there. Say there's a lot going on all over the battlefield here. And you can see that. Can you see those SPQR units there are facing my cavalry now? Okay, Lando knows I've still got cavalry out there, so he's going to keep my cavalry off the rear of his Greek city's ally. Okay, that's a good tactical move there, good teamwork there. As I say here, the SPQR cavalry is going to, infantry is going to shadow my cavalry to stop me charging into the rear of his engaged allies' Greek city units. That's a nice bit of teamwork there. As you can see, I've got 3 units there still fighting those Greek city units. So I'm not sure how long I'll be able to hold, because you know that Greek cities against Rome, Greek cities usually win. And there's an SPQR infantry unit attacking me as well. So things not looking very good in that particular part of the battlefield here. I see Mad King's general still alive. And as I say, 8 Ball's been doing incredibly well with his units. But remember, those 120 man units. Look how they've been decimated by enemy attacks there. Lots of his units are very battle damaged. But remember, as I said before, the Pharaoh archers are shooting into the enemy all the time. There's a clump of Seleucid pikemen there looking to charge into our Macedon ally. And don't forget that AI infantry is attacking all the time. And don't forget also that Lando's SPQR archers there in close formation are shooting archers into us, arrows into us all the time there as well. Okay, so as I say, from what was looking to be a crushing or clear victory for us against the AI enemy has now turned into something a lot more kind of difficult for us to even look at winning here, I think. But as I say, look at 8 Ball's formation there, nice defensive pike formation there. That as long as he can hold solid there, I think he can do a lot of damage to the enemy. Right, can you see I'm charging my cavalry in there, and I was looking to charge into the rear of those Greek city units, but I decided to pull that cavalry charge out when those SPQR infantry started to move towards me. I'm going to have to look for another target there with my cavalry. If you notice, I'm running my infantry unit over there to attack. And I've seen the SPQR general there is isolated, so I've charged my battle damaged cavalry into that SPQR general. Okay, I'm being targeted by SPQR archers and pilots as well. Oh my god, look at the pilots going into my cavalry. Dropped all my cavalry almost there. Still trying to kill that SPQR general, but now all my cavalry has now been taken out. Okay, so I've just got, I think I've got maybe 2 infantry units left. That's all I've got in my army. And as you can see, all my cavalry, but I weakened the SPQR general, or even though all my cavalry has been taken out. Okay, so you can see 8 Ball here bringing his pikemen over to support us here. Great support work here by 8 Ball with his Macedon troops here. Absolutely excellent teamwork there by him. Okay, and you can see the enemy SPQR infantry attack. I think most of the Greek city units have now been spent. Okay, they've been fighting for a long time. You might have a couple of units left, but they look extremely battle damaged to me. And as you can see, 8 Ball's bringing over some of his battle damaged pikemen here to help us. You can see the SPQR general still alive, but I did weaken it a lot with that cavalry hit. But as I say, 8 Ball's bringing his pikemen over now just at the right time here to help us against the enemy SPQR troops. Okay, we've just routed the SPQR general, which is good for us. Obviously, all those troops now will lose their general morale bonus. And as you can see here, he's got a clump of Macedon pikemen there fighting the AI Julio troops there. So don't forget, all the way through the battle, the enemy SPQR archers have been shooting into us all the time. But don't forget, our allies Pharaoh archers have been shooting into the enemy troops as well. Right, there's the last of the SPQR troops has just been routed, and a Seleucid unit as well. So don't forget, we are Macedon and Julii and Carthage here, okay, and Egypt. Okay, so the enemy, as you can see now, most of the enemy team has now been routed. And don't forget, as I say, the Pharaoh archers, those fully upgraded Pharaoh archers have been shooting into the enemy all the time, weakening units and making them more susceptible to routing. So Legion's done really well with those fully upgraded Pharaoh archers all the way through the battle. Let's say, I think it's just a Seleucid general that's left out of the Seleucid troops left now. And I think there's 1 Greek city unit left there. So you can see the intensity of the battle here. As you can see, our Macedon ally here is moving his pikemen forward into that Seleucid general, which we've just routed. Okay, so we've just routed the Seleucid general and we just routed the other Greek city units. So it looks like our team has just managed to win this. Now I just want to pause the game for a minute to show you the intensity of the battle from one side here. Remember, this was what kicked off the battle here, the Egyptian chariots fighting the SBQR cavalry. Okay, so remember, this is where the battle started, over here on our right flank, and where I charged my cavalry over to help my Egyptian ally there against the enemy SBQR cavalry. As we move across the battlefield, not so many kills there. As we go over there, as you can see, smaller amounts of kills, but as we move over to the left flank, you can start seeing the kills really picking up there. You can see how intense the battle was on that particular flank. Okay, you can see there where the Macedon formation was there. You can see the dead outside that formation there. And as I say, you can see at this particular part of the battle, this looks to me the most intense maybe part of the battle there. So that just bears testament to how intense the whole battle was there. As I say, when the enemy, one of the enemy armies went AI, we thought it could be a clear or maybe even a crushing victory, but look how close it has become. Okay, if you notice here, I've got 2 units left. 1 unit with 11 men in, and my general unit with 2 men in. So what's that? 11, 12. I've got 13 infantry. That's all I've got left out of my entire army. And the Carthage guy, he's just got 5 men left. The Mad King's got 5 men left in his general unit. Okay, so that bears testament to how tough this battle was. That's all the men we've got left. Our Macedon ally, remember, these are 120 man units, 25 men, 8 men in that one, 72 in that one, and 38 in that one. As I say, remember, these are 120 man units, so you can see how many casualties the 8 Ball has suffered as well. So as I say, this when we were going to re-host after Mars left, because obviously we thought it was unfair that we'd be fighting an AI army, but everybody agreed to carry on fighting there. And there, you know, some people might have thought we might have got a crushing defeat, or at least a clear victory there, crushing victory, or a clear victory for us. But as you can see there, the enemy played so well there that it came right down to the wire, and I would think that this was very close. Yeah, there you go. Okay, as I say, I think, after we Mars left there and he went to AI, we definitely thought, well, we were thinking about re-hosting there, but we decided to carry on, and I'm really glad we carried on there, because as you can see, it was such a close victory, and the AI didn't do too badly actually, kills wise. I thought that was pretty good for the AI there. So as I say, very close victory. I think if it did very close, that's what we would say there. Okay, can you see I've got the smallest army on the battlefield by far, and yet I've managed to scrape in the most kills. Okay, now that looks quite impressive, but remember that I've got those kills through the efforts of my teammates as well. All my teammates weakened those enemy units, and I was probably quite lucky enough to hit them and rout them and get the kills there. So although the kills are really good, I suppose they are quite good, but it's a team effort that managed to get those kills. So really well done to the team there for helping to get those kills. If you know, I just like to draw your attention, can you see the enemy team that lost? They've got the 2nd, 3rd and 4th highest kills in the battle. Okay, they got the 2nd, 3rd and 4th, and even Mars's AI only got 6 kills less than 8 Ball. So they nearly had 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th highest kills in the game. So that goes to show how well they played and how close a battle it was there. So I thought that was interesting to see how many kills that they've got. But as I say, really well done, and I'd just like to show you all the different factions. Carthage, Macedon, Egypt, Rome, Seleucid, Greek cities. So there's a lot of different factions in this battle, which I hope made it even more interesting for you to see all these different factions. Okay, so as I say, I like a battle with lots of different factions in there, and good kills for, I think, everybody in the game there. So I'd just like to say, really well played to Brotherhood member Mars, Bark, Steve Longshanks, and Lando. Really well played, guys. Bearing in mind you had an AI ally for the vast majority of that battle, you played so well, and it went right down to the wire. I think we snatched victory from the jaws of defeat myself. You played so well, guys, so really well done to you there. But also really well played to Brotherhood member Mad King, 8 Ball and Legion 22. Nice teamwork there. Remember, Legion 22's Pharaoh archers are weakening enemy units all the time with his fully upgraded Pharaoh archers, making them more susceptible to routing and enabling us to rout enemy units there because of how weak he made them with his Pharaoh archers. 8 Ball's great defensive formation with his pikes there. I think that's very pivotal to the battle there, how he managed to form those defense lines there to stop the enemy hitting us. And Mad King, of course, did really well well against Greek cities. He might not have got the kills that he wanted there, but he did extremely well in holding and pinning the Greek city units there. Okay, Spartan Commander saying, hope you enjoyed our 400th battle. Please leave a comment. It's always nice to get a bit of feedback on our battles here. And as I say, when we first started our Brotherhood channel, we probably never thought we'd get to 400, but here we are, and I hope you enjoyed our 400th. This is Spartan Commander saying bye for now. Look forward to seeing you soon, and bye.